Welcome to Talk Around Riyadh, the Wheel of Time showcast. I am your host, Joe Perry, here with my co-hosts, Jen Isgro, Tom Kokoza, and Brendan Johnston, joining us from the beyond. How you doing tonight, Jen?
Oh my God. I'm fine. I didn't know Brendan had left us and was currently in the beyond.
He's right here.
What?
Beyond the borders of New York State is what he meant.
Oh, I got it. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Phew.
New Jersey.
I was a little worried. Okay, the beyond. All right. I'm fine. I was just trying to think of something interesting to talk about. I haven't had any run-ins with critters of any kind this week. That's a good thing. And I'm excited about that. And just ready to talk episode 205.
Tom, I know you want to talk about the Mets, so the floor is yours.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It was what an exciting week. I have to say, I thought very little about the Wheel of Time this week. If any of you listeners happen to follow me on X or Twitter, I apologize because literally everything I'm doing is just reposting things from the awesome run that the Mets have been on as they've gone into the postseason and advanced in the second round. But I will stop myself now. Otherwise, I won't stop myself at all. So, Brendan, how are you doing?
I'm good. As of a few hours ago, my last 5-day work week of 2024 has come to an end.
Wow.
Wow.
Whoa.
I have this is real. While it's too small for my 50s problem, I have more PTO than I can reasonably use in a given calendar year. And if I don't use like all but 5 of the days, then they just go away. So for the last couple of years, I've just been taking every Monday in the fourth quarter off.
There you go. I like the way you do things, buddy. That's great.
Nice.
You should take every Friday off so you can really, really prep for this podcast.
Nah.
Like Monday hurts more. Right?
Monday does hurt more. Yeah.
Like Friday's good if you're doing something, but otherwise it's like Monday is harder than Friday to work, I feel.
That's what she said. All right, shall we get into this episode? We're talking about episode 205, Damane. And contrary to what we may have thought at first, right? Egwene is not Damane for 99% of this episode. So, but there are Damane in this episode. So I guess, I guess we can give them that. So we cold open with the Sean Chen. So this is another cold open that's kind of just like part of the episode. Like I think the second one was. It's not anything.
Yeah.
Warm. It's lukewarm.
Yeah. So we meet High Lord Torok, who seems to be the man in charge for this. We got some great costuming. I'm still upset that were they even nominated for an Emmy? That's just a shame. That's garbage Emmys. You fix that. Like, I don't even know what was. We should probably pull it up and say, like, was Wheel of Time costuming better than this
The Witcher, right? A couple of, like, other fantasy shows.
The Witcher costumes were okay, but they weren't as good as this.
Well, I have no comment because I've never seen The Witcher, so.
It's also a much worse show.
There you go.
Well, that's good.
I
have a comment before you move on into the scene.
Okay.
Because I remember when we talked about this, I thought that the ships were returning from the place where they were. And when I'm thinking about it, it doesn't really make sense because it's like near Farm. So why would they do that? But there's a shot of like you see the boat and everyone's like posed on it dramatically, the one boat out of many boats in the harbor. And then the sails are like being lowered as if the ship had sailed up and now is like going down. Like the sails are being compacted, whatever word you would use for that, rolled up as if they'd arrived. Now they're not sailing anymore. Like they just got back. So now I'm back on that. I think they sailed back. I don't know what they did with the big thing that they were carrying. Maybe the slaves had to carry that back and Soroth got to go by ship. What do you guys think? Think I'm still wrong?
So the costumes. Sorry,
He's just not even
costumes.
Come on.
He literally won't even address your question.
I'm sorry.
No, the sails are being rolled. Why would they
drop sail?
Yeah, why would they drop the sails down?
What is the? I'm sorry, I don't understand what the
So
question
I thought
is.
like the opening shot is like the harbor and there's like a ton of Shanshan ships, and then
Yeah.
they zoom in on like one particular ship, and there's like people like posed dramatically on the front of it,
Mhm.
and then it pans up and the sails come down, like they're not unfurled anymore, they're furling them. They're putting them down like they just got there and now they're parking.
Furl, isn't
And then
that
you
what-
see Surath like entering, into the courtyard or whatever.
Yes,
But everyone made fun of me, not made fun of, but I disagreed with that I thought they were arriving by that ship, and not that was just like how they're situated in the harbor at all times. This doesn't matter at all. I just have it in my notes because I never noticed before that the sails were like being dropped down, like as if they were closing it up.
Okay, I thought they were also coming back on a boat.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's correct, but I agree with you.
Okay.
I
thank you.
do remember having
You're
this
welcome.
conversation last time, but I don't remember what side I was on.
It
and I
doesn't.
didn't
It doesn't
think
make sense
about it at all.
geographically, really.
Well,
but-
you thought they were coming back from the attacking, right? From attacking
From Achuan's
Atuan's
Mill.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I just had it in my notes.
I feel like
Let's move
Atuan's
on.
Mill though is not like it wouldn't be quicker to
Right.
it's inland enough that it wouldn't make sense to take a boat there, but I don't remember the
I know.
exact geography of it. I didn't think
Okay.
about that this time though. So I guess it didn't bother me. Where were we? Oh yes. We meet High Lord Torok. We see that Ingtar and Loyal have been captured, but there's no sign of the rest of the Shinaran, right?
No.
No.
We don't see them until I think they appear in Shanshan outfits. Is that when we first see them again at like the episode?
I think the
When?
other Shinaran are just
Oh.
like, I don't think they're important. Like they make a point of saying that they captured the Shinaran Lord
Yes.
and an Ogier because like they're notable, and
Yeah.
the other guys are just guys.
Yeah.
So they just like joined the Shanshan army.
I get
Yeah,
We
and-
don't even
and,
know
like,
if they
moles.
join the army.
I know.
We
Well,
have
they're
no
in
idea.
the uniforms.
They're in uniforms.
Well, they wouldn't let them go. I don't. Unless, yeah,
Maybe
maybe
they
they.
did.
I don't know. Maybe they would
Well,
because they're.
well,
Swore the
Because
oath.
there's
They
at least
swore
one
the-
more
Yeah. Yeah.
later.
Well, he's there,
Yeah.
but I don't.
Yeah,
he's not
they-
really
I mean,
important.
Well, the weird
They
part is
swear
why
the
would they
oaths
even take
every-
them? Why would they even take them with them if they're nobodies and they swore the
Maybe
oath?
they
so,
didn't.
so
They only took Loyal and Ingtar.
Well, they're
okay.
slavers.
Oh, Messi. I don't know.
Yeah. The Hey, this isn't I don't know. This isn't a spoiler because it's not 100% really addressed. It's just kind of shown and you can make your own conclusions. But like the way it works in the books is you swear the oaths and then you're part of Shanshan society and they take the soldiers from other armies and bring them into their army all the time. So
That's true. I don't. Are they forced to be soldiers or those they just volunteer to be?
they're like, you're not forced to be soldiers. You have an option. You can be
Yeah.
a soldier or you
Or
can
die.
die.
So you
But
think,
maybe they just go
No, I thought you can
because
just
like
swear the
Loyal and
oaths.
Ingtar are captured.
You
So they
can.
just-
You can, but armies kind of get subsumed into the ever victorious army.
Okay, even though they're not from an army, they're not in the army from that area.
Yeah.
So the assumption then is at the end when they just appear wearing Shanshan outfits, they didn't kill Shanshan and steal them. They were just part of the Shanshan army.
I made that assumption. You can make a different one because it's not really addressed in the show at all.
I have a comment from a scene that's later on, but it's kind of relevant to this. When Perrin's talking to Hopper and he's like, right before he gets the vision of Uno in the cage, he's like, we have to work out where they took Loyal and Ingtar, and then he kind of trails off because he's getting the vision, but it really, his face looks like he's really trying hard to remember the rest of the guys' names. And he can't, like, I'm like, yeah, right. There was like 6 other guys with them. Like, where did they go?
I don't know. I guess
I don't
they're
know.
part of the army. Who knows?
That's it. They just were like, you know what? Sure,
Never to be
this
seen
works for me
again.
now. Yeah.
There is there's a I first saw it in a video, but I'm sure it's another form of like a short meme video or whatever you want to call it, going around a while back about how a fan theory that in the Lord of the Rings, Frodo does not know Legolas's name.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I've
he
seen
never
the clips
said it.
where he always has
Yeah.
like a strange face on when Legolas shows up.
He says
Yeah,
everybody
'cause
else's name at
And
the
they
end.
never
Yeah.
they never speak. So I took that to be one of those like Perrin only talked to those 2 guys. And Uno, but he's
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah, I saw that video not too long ago. That's a funny video.
When he walks in, he just smiles, doesn't say his name.
Yeah.
He says everybody else.
He just doesn't know
That
his
is
name.
really funny. Yeah.
So we learned that the Shan Chen are, I don't want to say good, but they're not evil with the Dark One.
Are we back on this?
Right. No, they're
No,
not.
no.
dark
Brendan, I'm not
evil.
trying to say that they're not
Okay.
bad. I'm saying
They're regular
not,
bad.
They're just
Yeah.
bad people. They don't.
They're not
serve,
devil bad.
Yes,
Okay.
they don't serve.
Regular.
Right. They
devil.
think that they think that what they're doing is
All right, okay.
is serving the light, the right side of things.
Yeah.
So do the white
They're
cloaks.
bad, but they're bad, but they think they're good, which
Right.
comes in handy for something I want to talk about later. So
Yeah.
good. All right.
They're the
Yes.
in between bad. They're not with the Dark One and those guys and
Right,
Shamael
okay.
and them. Well, not all of them, but we do learn one of them is.
Well,
And she gets dressed down by High Lord Torak and gets her nails chopped off. Yeah. And then
Shocking.
Patton Fane returns.
Hey,
The horn. It's
swaggy as hell.
It's funny because
he looks so annoyed
Yeah.
when High Lord Turok steps on his line about it being the Horn of Valir.
Uh-uh.
It's like a very brief flash of like, you motherfucker. Like, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Fine, here. Like,
Yeah. And when I was watching it this time, I have to say, if you watch it on your computer, there's no commercials. I haven't seen a commercial yet when I watch it on my computer. Only when I watch it on
That's odd.
TV. Like the app. When
maybe that's it.
when Ishamael announces that he has a gift for him, right? And Patton Fane comes walking up and Ingtar and Loyal are still facing forward. They don't turn around. And then as Patton Fane walks by, Ingtar's like
Yeah.
surprised that he's there. Which I thought was funny, both funny and strange because he didn't, they never turned around to look. And then he was like, oh, this is the people we've been hunting. This is the guy we've been hunting all this time. And he's right here with us.
Yeah, I mean, you got to
Found him.
figure there's a lot of people in the world.
Yes.
Not really.
What are the chances?
Yeah. So they had no idea, I guess, that Fane was there and presenting Turok with the horn. So, cold open rankings. Where do you put this one? This is cool because it's Shan Chen.
Yes.
So I've already forgotten again, Jen. Like
Yeah, I don't remember
always do.
what my-
what was last week? Last week was
My rankings are.
Was it I don't remember what the hell was
Hold
last
on,
week.
wait. Last week was Landfear being
Oh wait, I have it right here.
was
Release.
Landfear coming out. It's Landfear being released.
Yes, Lanfear being released. That's
Nine
right.
Eep's test, Rand's scene, and the Dark Friend social.
and the accepted test. You said that?
Yeah,
That- yeah, that- so-
yes.
This was good. I'm gonna put this like somewhere in the middle of that. I think it's better than Rand.
Yes.
And I don't know if it's better than I think it's better than last week's too.
Yeah, I would say 3. I would say 3, probably. I really like it. And this is before, as Brendan pointed out when we first did this, before the Shan Chen are not impressive when they actually, right? They're still like, wow, these guys are awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that's a good setup. Thank you, Tom. This is the worst cold open because the Shoshin are dumb. That's my position. That's my official position on all things related to the Shoshin in perpetuity.
There's like one of the behind
They're
the
the
scenes
worst.
or after the episode things. I think it must have been for episode 3 is like just Rafe saying like how he wanted everyone to be like terrified of the Shoshin. And when I was
Yes.
watching, I just thought of Brendan, like you
Yeah.
didn't get everyone.
No, he does
But,
make them. They are
yeah.
they are kind of like inept, and that's just the way they, they're not supposed to be that way.
But
it's
why
just
do
the
you
way
think
they
they're
came up.
inept?
Well, the soldiers are not particularly
They get
good. I think that's
they get their asses
Yeah,
kicked a lot.
But
Yeah.
like
They're stormtroopers. They're
Yeah.
they're
these are our main
They're fodder.
characters.
right. I think.
I mean,
well,
yeah, Turok Well, that's not whatever. He should have been better.
Yeah, I think
He's the most embarrassing of all of them. I know. We'll get there. We'll get there.
We can't do this. We have to hold this until
we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. Just staying.
I think that they are in this episode, and obviously, and I think so far they've been built up well. They haven't done anything.
Well, they do the most dumb thing in this episode.
Well, so far, but at this point,
we're gonna
at this point in this episode,
okay,
you're still like
now,
shit.
Okay,
right?
I forgot about
that
now. Part, and so we're gonna get there at some point. I forgot about it.
Yeah. I was like, it can't be as bad as we think. Maybe there's like some other reason why they know.
It's worse. I think
it's so bad. Just staying with the Sean Chin. Right. So Surat then has a conversation with Ishamael. She's pretty bold, and when I was watching it, I was like, does she not know that who he is really? But then no, she calls him Chosen or something like that. There's a reference to Chosen.
She knows.
So she knows he's a Forsaken, and she's being like, I feel like Book of Ishamael would have killed her or tortured her probably right on the spot.
Show Ishamael is a lot chiller.
Yeah. Quiet, insane.
He's tired. I think more than anything else, this guy is tired, and it's just I don't want to. All right.
I've worked so hard. Yeah, I'm not going to mess this whole thing up. I don't think he's crazy. I don't think he comes off crazy at all.
He should be.
No, he doesn't.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Book of Ishamael's crazy.
Yeah, like this guy's just like, no, I've been fucking working on this shit, and I'm in here now. You're not going to screw this up for me.
Yeah. Well, the fact that she's like, you're really I'm the blood, right? Where as if that was more important or more powerful than one of the Forsaken.
Well, that's what she thinks.
Yeah, I think that's an insight into
doing a shit job. Then he should have put her in her place as soon as she met her.
I also think that Ishamael correctly just doesn't like. She's beneath him. She's not worth getting. Look, she's a stormtrooper. It doesn't matter. Like her opinion doesn't matter as long as she keeps like.
He saves her ass.
Why does he give a shit?
He saves her ass later. I mean, that's probably for his own purposes, but he does.
Yeah,
of course it is.
Help her out. But then he's the one who got her in trouble, though. He's the one who got her in trouble, and now he's bailing her out. I guess he's not so bad of a guy. He's like that friend we all have that does that to you all the time.
Well, he has to get her like back into the good graces because now like the girl that he's in her court. He's hiding out in her court.
Yeah,
and now she got like demoted all the way down to nothing. Like, so we got to give her a gift and say it's from you. To get you like back. Give him a gift. I mean,
there's multiple conversations in this episode about or referencing why somebody swore to the Dark One or to the Dark, as they call it in this show. There's one here where Ishamael says, I know why you swore, but we don't find out this season at least. Do you all think we're going to find out? There's going to be some sort of clarity made to that? Because it seems like it comes up a couple of times with different people.
Maybe if we see her again.
Let's hope we see her again.
I feel like everyone just like swore to the Dark for like an embarrassing secret reason that they don't want anybody to know. So like, if anyone finds out about like nothing's worse.
Dana.
Like
Dana. Thank you.
Oh, Dana, that has a good reason. But yeah, like if somebody finds this out, it's worse than me being evil. Basically, me swearing my soul to the devil.
Well, I hope they just don't keep using that term as like a tool to like impose yourself on someone and then never reveal why that person swore, because that's just not going to be fun.
Ishamael's going to like start a room. Oh my God, you guys, this happened to Surat. Like, you have no idea how embarrassing this is.
She crapped her pants one day and I told her I wouldn't say anything.
She swore to the Dark.
She swore to the Dark. So shortly after, right, we come back to them, and Turok is interrogating Ishamael now, asking him like basically like who are you?
How the fuck did you get here? What is this?
Yeah, I like how Turok says there's nobody from. He's like nobody from the Westlands has ever been in Shan Chen. Like he knows every single person there, and like there's fucking some sort of fence around it with like alarms that he would know if somebody came over.
They made Shanshan great again.
They did make Shanshan great. We built the biggest walls around Shanshan, and we made the Westlands pay for it. Sorry, I got off track. But we learned that Ishamael's the one who set forth in motion the whole Shanshan coming to the Westlands.
Yes.
Which is an interesting little fact here. So he's got a really intricate plan going on, Ishamael, huh? He's juggling a lot of balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that, as, putting aside the effectiveness or ineffectiveness of the Shanshan as a fighting force, or whatever, I think Ishamael looks like he's a really good long-range planner. Like, things seem to be working out just as he has, set in motion months or years ago, or whatever the case may be. I appreciate the fact that the show is trying to give some villains at least that are competent.
Yeah, I mean, he's got this part right. He's definitely doing well over here. Maybe not some other areas.
It's worked. He's working.
Yeah, he's working it. And as I mentioned before, he winds up saving Surat's ass by kind of appeasing Turok by bringing him a gift, which winds up being Egwene. Pretty cool effect. I still like the effect. I was still excited by it when they put the collar on her, and then it goes all down. And
we just jumped like the whole episode.
No, we're doing.
I'm just doing Shanshan.
Just the Shanshan.
I'm just talking about Shanshan stuff.
Oh, okay.
We'll get back to. I know because some people are split up in this episode, so like they're with some people half and the other half. So we'll get back to we can talk the White Tower or Leandra and Nynaeve and them after this one, just to close that loop up. But yeah, still a cool effect. Still excited about it. I do like the little extra leash that she puts on her to kind of be like, hey, you're my dog. You're my pet now. At first it bothered me, but then we realized that it's just kind of, don't they only put it on when they no, they don't only put it on. It's just like a training thing, right? Until they're broken, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. She doesn't
no, they always wear the leash when they're out.
No, they don't. I don't think they are, right?
No, they always wear the collar.
No, are you talking about the show or the book?
The show.
The show.
Oh, the show, you would never see that leash.
There's no leash in the books.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, there is.
Oh, that's right. It's reverse.
The leash is not the important part.
In the show, we never see that. I don't think she ever used that leash again, does she? Maybe one other time? I can't even think of another time that she uses it. She drags her into the cell and then
I don't know, maybe
she
next
hangs
episode,
it up.
we might see some other demonic. What about when they go out to train, when they're out and we'll get to that, I guess. But,
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
God, oh my God, the show is erasing your memory.
It is erasing my memory of the books. This is bad. I got to stop watching the show. Otherwise, I'll never remember.
If only there was some way you can find out what happens in the books.
I know. Can I move on from the Shanshan, or does anyone want to spend some more time talking about them?
I don't think I had anything else.
You move on.
How about we jump to Leandra, Nynaeve, and Elaine?
Okay.
We're hot on the heels of Leandra kidnapping the girls. And Egwene, Egwene's there too, obviously. Traveling the ways. Nynaeve wakes up. They have a little conversation for some more exposition. I have to count how many conversations between Nynaeve and Leandra have, where they're all very similar tones, but
pretty much one per episode so far.
Yeah.
At least
they have a one-on-one
episode, yeah.
Yeah. Except for episode 3, right? With the test. I think that's the only one they don't have a one-on-one on.
Yeah.
But
end episode 7, or rather end episode 8, in which Leandra does not appear.
Yeah, well, so far, I think. But I just want to quickly, before we get into the height of this, like, the ways look so much like they look the same. Like, it's not like they changed the design of them, but they look much cooler here because, like, in season 1, they're like, okay, we're just going to show you where they are, and that's it. And
Yeah.
like, there's just blackness behind them. But like, you get to see like they're just on a rocky island that's floating in nothingness, and like there's broken bridges, and it's just like it gives you a more fantastic, hellish view of this magical passageway that makes you understand, other than Match and Shin, why people won't want to go in there.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to throw that in. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
It makes you understand why people won't want to go in there, and it also emphasizes that the logistics of Leandrin, apparently by herself, getting 3 unconscious adults and horses into and through this shadowy hellscape, is the single most unbelievable thing about the show that has monsters and magic in it.
She could channel before they go in, but then she takes them off in there, and she can't channel while she's in there.
Well, she takes them off while she's in there, and then knocks them out again and gets them back on the horses.
Well, I don't know if Elaine and Egwene.
A lot of arm and
legs,
bod exercises.
And how does Nynaeve go
lifts.
back out? That's another question I have.
She hits her. There's a lot of head trauma in this episode. More head trauma.
She knocks her out again that we don't see
in this episode.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Rock to the back of the head.
She's still got like some blood on the side of her head, Nynaeve, from the earlier.
That's from slamming against the stone wall, right? But then she talks to her, and then she's unconscious again after.
Yeah.
We see her.
Well, whatever she did to, she knocks her back out. I guess I don't know. Hits her with a rock or does some sort of magic sleep spell.
Yeah, she is down.
You can't channel.
Can't channel.
Oh yeah, she just drop a knee on the side of her head. Oh,
but you know what? She can't channel, but like Nynaeve couldn't channel in the arches either,
right.
And like
she can channel. It just draws the
she can. It'll just
Also, Leandrin's much of Leandrin's conversation with Nynaeve is kind of establishing, or at least this is how I took it, establishing that a lot of the quote unquote rules the Aes Sedai have to follow are kind of a bunch of bullshit anyway. So, like, maybe she can channel in the ways.
I'm thinking of like, Legends of the Hidden Temple, like, the game show Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Yeah.
Where, like, you have like something to hold, like a whatever they get, and then if the guard catches you, you can give it to them. Maybe like she has one of those for Match.
Oh man,
It's like a dark friend card. Like, no, I'm good. I'm good.
No, I'm good.
Like you can channel once, and then now if you do it again, I'm coming back.
Yeah, my dark friend, I have my shawl.
Yeah.
So you know that
I put my black coat on that was hidden in the back of my closet that no one could see.
Yeah. So
it was very dark red.
So she can channel. It's just that it's not wise because you can draw Match and Shin's attention. Yes, Brendan, you're right. I wanted to talk about this. Her discussion about the O's, and because Nynaeve asks her how she was able to break the O's, and that's something that's not addressed, but will be probably addressed next season. But yeah, Leandrin kind of goes off on this. I feel like it's her interpretation of why there are O's. I don't necessarily think that's the reason why. It seems like she's putting her own spin on it and what she feels. I feel like she's projecting, basically.
Yeah, that's true. But also, she has clearly broken all her oaths, and nothing has happened to her.
Yes. Well, like I said, you'll learn more about that probably next season. So I won't.
Okay.
I won't say anything from there on. Anything more on that.
Fair enough.
But we do have that great line where Nynaeve says, like, you weren't recruiting me for the red, you were recruiting me for him, she says. What, you don't believe it?
No, I do believe it. I feel like that's the other. Like, well, 6 of one, half dozen the other. Whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
You're saying the red are just as bad?
I'm saying Leandrin's like, yeah, okay. Like, yeah.
Both. Can it be both?
Yeah, both. Can it be, yeah, why not both? Right, yeah.
Yeah. And then they talk about the price, right? Everyone has their price, but this is the other time, like, what was Leandrin's price? Why was I don't think, did we find out? I don't remember if we find out later in the season.
It's
Do we find out when Lanfear visits her?
I think it's kind of like, I think it's intimated that it has something to do with her kid, but it also is probably the fact that like her life was like filled with things that would fill her up with hate, like as a child. You know, it's been implied that, you know, she was radically maltreated and possibly sexually abused as a child, you know, and blames men for that in general. So
she mentions in this speech about men.
Right. So I think all of that kind of makes her a prime candidate.
Yeah.
For dark recruitment.
Yep. Good way to get revenge. All right, so let's get into this. So Leandra delivers the girls to Soroth. As you said, Brendan, she somehow gets them back on the horses.
That's the thing, right? Like, okay, fine. We have to rest. You know, the horses need to rest, so I have to take you off the horses, whatever. How does she get them back on?
Without using the one power. I mean, she could get them on using the one power, but...
It's like Belle putting the beast on the horse and beating
maybe
the
she
beast.
does
I was worried about that. The horse helps.
3 times.
I was just thinking of Big Trouble in Little China.
Hell.
How'd you get up there? Wasn't easy. That's all you get.
That's all you need. Just a witty line. And everyone's fine with that. I'd be fine with that if there was some sort of witty line. So Leandra comes out the way gate. We see Lady Soroth and a group of Shanshan soldiers and Damane there. We get this ridiculous setup for the scene where the Shanshan soldiers just take the girls off the horse and put them over to the side. Doesn't make any fucking sense. We talked about it in depth last time. It is so... I could not think about it watching the scene.
I know.
It's so clearly staging.
Yeah. It's so they could have this
it's
nice
so
shot.
like the girls aren't in this part, so we're gonna put them over here.
Yeah. It's like a play.
Exactly. Yeah. It's so obviously it calls such attention to the fakery of it. Like it's like we're so obviously watching a show now.
Yeah. I wish they should have just left them on the horses while they talked, and then like Shish could have walked away and expected that they would come forward to get them after she left, and then they would wake up.
It would have been better if the
Shanshan
they never went over there and grabbed them. Just exactly like you said, Jen. They could have just left. But again, like Brendan was saying, they would be in the background of the shot, so you don't want that.
Well, I mean, they could have moved the horses to the... I don't know. It's just...
them there, yeah. They clearly wanted a nice shot, and we're like, all right, well, just put the girls over to the side. I don't know. It was so weird. It still bothers me. They should have... Again, it's a TV show. I know they wanted to set it up, but they should have just put the collars on the girls right away, which is what they would have done had they not had.
Well, you can't have Nynaeve and
they could have got away, but the whole thing was they needed to have this speech between the two of them. So I don't know. Doesn't make any sense to me. Still doesn't. Looks really bad watching it, but it's a good conversation though that the two of them have, right? The both of them are evil. They both serving as Shamael right now, but they clearly do not like each other. And I feel like it's not the last time the two of them are going to see each other.
Hope
well,
not.
We'll see. I mean, again, not to get ahead of ourselves, but the fate of Soroth is not clear at the end of this season.
She's fine. She's swimming in the water.
She does get blowed up, sir.
She's fine. She just falls over a little bit. She's fine. She's a little wet.
She's a little wet. That's all.
We have
a little bird.
A little airborne. It's still good.
Should be fine.
Did you guys notice that like Leandra's wig looks really fake in this scene? I don't know why. It just like drew my attention.
No, I didn't notice.
I did notice that.
It's just like right here, like
very.
That's a wig.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just like the lighting showing it off more in the scene, but
it's like she hasn't been in that much sunshine in any other
she's
scene.
Like lurking in dark hallways in the tower. Like
that could be it too. Yeah, sun. Maybe she was sweating a lot or something.
Maybe.
It got the makeup or whatever, the glue. Then Leandrin, right, releases them, kind of like an FU to Surath, but also she might be kind of like, yeah, I want to give them a chance, the girls. I don't know. I don't know.
I think it's more of it. I think it's more the FU, and there's a little bit of like, you know.
I don't think she thinks that they'll get away. I think she's just like, I'm going to make this hard for you. But she wakes them all up, which I never realized they were all woken up, and then she just releases Nynaeve's hands.
Nynaeve.
But Elaine channels without her hands also in this scene.
Yeah, they both do.
They both do. Like, Egwene has the big thing out of her chest, but Elaine channels when she's on the ground. Like, so they both channel without the hand. Elaine kind of is like, oh my God, come on. Like, when Nynaeve can't channel, Elaine is just like, all right, I'm going to fucking channel. And
well, that's something I think that I think part of Leandrin's plan was she was deep ending Nynaeve. And it just didn't work out.
She was
like
what?
She was
throwing her to the deep end. Yeah.
Oh.
Like, here you go. You're totally fucked. You got to use your magic now. And she still can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think that, like, if she let them go and then they got away, but I don't know. Like, do you think that Surath goes back to Ishamael and is like, Leandrin, like, let them go and, like, Nynaeve got away?
Surath wouldn't necessarily know that Leandrin let them go. She might have thought they just escaped.
Maybe because she muttered.
And like best case scenario, they get Surath. And from Leandrin's perspective.
No, I know. But
if anything, it's Surath's fault because she told her soldiers to take them off the horse and go put them over to the side.
Take them off the horse, put them on those trees. Hey, I'll be over in a second.
But where did their soldiers put the horses after they came through the way gate? Like, you put them right next to you guys, right? Like, that's what we discussed.
I feel like they took the horses back.
That was the plan that I've had this plan for 3 years.
They go to report to Ishamael, and even Ishamael was like, how did she get them in to the ways and then back out? I think
they must have stayed on the horses the whole.
They stayed on the horses the whole time, right?
No. So they got
them off.
Got off the horses.
You talked to them and then you knocked her back out. Like,
she must be immensely strong.
Nynaeve's like at least 3 concussions by the end of this episode. Like, she's got CTE. Like,
I mean, like
that's season 4 storyline.
Like, nothing else she does is like her fault from now on because she's so brain damaged.
Yeah, she's never going to channel at this rate, or maybe that helps her channel. Being concussed. That's how she breaks her block. She can only channel when she has a concussion.
Oh, good. She'll be really good now.
Jeez.
Yeah. And then they get captured, right, in this little confusing chase scene. Egwene gets split from Nynaeve and Elaine, and she winds up getting captured. What's that, Brendan?
Somehow.
Yeah, somehow.
Like, we don't see them get split up. We just see.
No.
Yeah. And then they're like, once they pass like the tree line, they're like, phew, we're safe. We just stop running. Like, they got one girl and they were like, that's enough. We got one.
We're out in the open now. Where we're
now that we're out in the open, right. They can't find us. Like, I make fun, but that happens. That's something that happens in a lot of TV shows, and it really bothers me. Like, because we can see you clearly now, you're free. Like, like, this is the part where you go, we have to hide. There's no more trees to block us. But get down.
So we know where Egwene goes. We already discussed that. Elaine and Nynaeve, though, sneak into Falm.
And Elaine sneaks into Falm.
Sorry.
Yes.
Well, they're both kind of.
Elaine sneaks into Falm. Nynaeve storms into Falm and starts yelling about how she has to go rescue her friends until Elaine says, hey, shut up.
Yeah. I didn't realize it until this time watching it that, I don't know, we might have discussed this and I just don't remember it, like how Basan knew that they were
from their outfits,
channel.
maybe?
Yeah, I realized that they're still wearing their accepted and novice dresses underneath the shawls that they have on. You can clearly see them wearing it. And Elaine even says, like, we need to get new clothes.
Too late.
Like, is there any scenario where he could have, like, spoken to them in some way and not bash their heads against the wall. It's like, that's for our benefit. Like, oh no, what pickle are they in now? And then they wake up like tucked snugly into beds. Like, why couldn't he just be like,
maybe
I'm a border. Like,
maybe he's heard Nynaeve for the past 5 minutes as they were unhiding, and he's like, I gotta shut this lady up.
It's so stupid that he not let it's really dumb. Like, I know, like, he doesn't know that maybe they won't believe him. Like, it would have been a little confusing, but like, I don't know. Like, knowing later, like, how nice, how good they are, and like,
well, think about it this way too. Like,
again, you're gonna knock them out. Like, it's getting to be too much now with the knocking people out.
Maybe you should have grabbed them by the mouths and then knock their heads together and knock them out.
Sloth.
Yeah.
I
feel like, right, a warder's number one priority is to protect his Aes Sedai. And if he talked to them and they fought him or yelled or in any way, like, he had to have a conversation with them out in the open, that put his Aes Sedai at risk. Like, she's a healer. She'll make them better.
Right.
Just follow them then. Anything other than
I think he wanted
another knockout. Like, it's too much.
I don't think he wanted. He needed to act quickly because he didn't want them getting themselves caught.
Okay.
Yes.
So he was like, I gotta these, like Tom said, and Brendan, right? Nynaeve's being a loudmouth, and Elaine's trying to like say, shh, quiet. We gotta be, careful in here. And he's like, oh no, we can't. They're gonna get caught. I need to get over there really quick. And I guess, he's not.
Or he could just let them get caught and not give a shit because he doesn't even know who they are.
But he serves the White Tower, though, too. So he's not going to let some novices.
And she's the most powerful channeler the Tower has seen in 1,000 years.
He doesn't know that.
He doesn't know that, though.
Everybody knows that.
Everyone knows, Jen.
I just feel like they're like, how do we get out of this scene really quick? Oh, just knock them out.
Yeah.
And we
yes.
It's like think of another way. Yeah. Have a conversation or do something else. I don't know.
A conversation is not really quick.
Like come up behind them with a sack or something. Like another cartoon way to grab someone. Yeah. Like he just chloroform over the mouth.
He paints a tunnel in the wall.
Yes. We will get to it, but this episode uses up all of its cartoon bits in another part of the episode. All right, we'll get to it, but they used it all up. They didn't have any more time. They didn't have any more room.
Yeah. And then we meet Rima, who is an Aes Sedai of the Yellow Aja, who's been trapped there for a while. And basically, that's it. We don't get. That's as far as we get with her.
She's Chekhov's Yellow, who was referred to like 2 episodes earlier.
Yeah. Yes. All right. Yeah. Yeah. She is, and we'll learn more about her in the next episode. Shall we? Let's go over to Perrin. How about some Perrin?
Sure.
Perrin's got some good stuff this episode.
He does.
He does.
Absolutely.
I like the Perrin scenes. This might be the best. This might be the best part of the episode, maybe. I'm not sure. Close to it, though. Elias is...
It's very good.
Elias is continuing to be a big dick to Perrin.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Fucking asshole.
What's up with that?
He brings up Perrin's dead wife. That's not
Perrin.
cool. Yeah.
Hey, Archie.
That's your dead.
That's your dead son.
Yeah.
Oh.
Asshole. He brings them back. Now, he brings Perrin back to Atuan's mill to protect him from the Shan Chen. So I guess he knows the wolves. He knows that the Shan Chen aren't in Atuan's mill anymore.
I thought he was just going the opposite direction.
Yeah, I think he just
he's just passing by there. I don't think he wanted Perrin to see that was Atuan's mill.
Oh,
because he was like, "Oh, your eyes aren't good yet," and then all of a sudden he's like,
he just lets Perrin walk
into the fog and
look
sees it.
Look straight at the town.
He's like shuffling his feet and kicking the rock like he got caught.
Yeah, I think the implication is that human eye, they're too far away for regular human eyes to be able to see that that's Atuan's mill. Mm-hmm. But his senses are already enhanced enough that he can like see through the fog and see that's where they are.
I know.
Elias doesn't so much bring him back to Atuan's mill as Elias brings him past Atuan's mill.
Yeah.
And Perrin's like, no, I gotta go in.
Well, he gets the image of Uno, so Hopper or one of the wolves sends him the image.
They didn't even bury him. Why would they bury him? They viciously murdered him. Oh, we got to bury this guy and give him a nice burial.
They buried everybody.
Yeah.
You bury everyone. Dark Friend or
Shinarans.
The Shinarans. They buried a bunch of Dark
He's
Friends.
saying the Shaunchan didn't even bury.
Right. But like they're saying, like they buried Dark Friends, people that they know are evil.
All right,
and they didn't even bury this guy. Like,
yeah.
Okay, fine.
They're not as
I just
good
wouldn't
as we
expect
are.
them to bury him.
As respectful. Right. Well, here's an interesting thing too. I noticed, right? So Perrin goes into the town, and there's Shaunchan in cages.
Yeah.
So
I think those Shaunchan are dead.
Yeah, they're dead.
yeah, they are. Yeah, they're dead Shaunchan.
Yeah.
Did the White Cloaks put Uno in the cage? Like, why would the White Cloaks put a Shinaran in the cage? A
Maybe
dead
he was already in
Shinaran.
there?
Somebody who's already dead. So is that what it was?
Well, they say that we find out from the innkeeper that the Shaunchan were there for a while.
Yeah.
And then the White Cloaks came in and chased them out. And this is one of the points where I think the timeline really starts falling apart, because it seems like this town was occupied by two different invading forces in the span of like a week.
Yeah.
But whatever, fine. So I think probably what happened was the Shaunchan who stayed behind to occupy Atuan's Mill put Uno in the cages. The White Cloaks came in and killed a bunch of the Shaunchan, putting some of them in cages, and never bothered taking Uno out, because why would they?
You know
Who
what
cares?
area probably
That's
smells great? There's like 9 rotting dead bodies.
Yeah,
just
that's the
sitting
other.
there
Yeah.
all together. Like I know we've seen one or two like outside of town, but this is like in the center of the town.
Yeah.
There's like a bunch of rotting corpses. Like
It's-
that's probably a great place to hang out.
It's excessive.
and Avienda's right in the middle.
Yeah. It's excessive for like non-monster type demon people. Like,
well, I mean, there is precedent. In season 1, you see that, like, hey, this is just what rough people do sometimes, right? There's an Aiel hanging in a cage in season 1.
one,
Yeah.
yeah, one.
But it's
one
like
dead body.
outside the town.
One is fine.
It's far away too.
Yeah, it
It's out
doesn't
in the
smell up the
distance.
town.
You don't have
Right.
like a dozen dead bodies just hanging around town,
Fucking rotting.
literally.
Hey, look,
rotting,
things are bad now, but they're a little bit better than they were earlier this week.
Yeah.
No, they're worse now.
No,
I
they're
said.
worse. I'm sorry.
According to the innkeeper, they're worse.
Well, they're
The
worse.
White
Sorry,
Cloaks are
sorry,
worse.
sorry.
No
Yeah.
one's worse than the White Cloaks. Let's make that clear.
Yes.
Literally no one.
They are the second. Well, I mean, they've been introduced first, but they're the second, I guess, group of people, maybe third, depending, I guess, on how you want to look at it, that think they are good.
Yeah.
But really aren't.
We meet a caged Aiel woman
Mhm.
named Avienda. White Cloaks have taken the town. Everyone seems to know when someone's from Two Rivers because
The
it's
Two
a
Cloaks.
it's a
The
really
two
popular
cloaks
place.
is still killing me. The brown cloak over the white cloak,
cloak.
for no one's benefit but ours is just
It's cold
the
out,
worst.
baby.
I hate it. No. And then he's not wearing it again when we see him.
Well, he's gonna
It's
fight.
just-
That's why.
I don't know. It's too much. It's fully covering his whole body.
Yeah.
I don't know.
For our
Whatever.
benefit. It's spectacle. It's all spectacle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should have came out with like no shirt on, like he was washing himself or something.
Yeah.
And then like halfway through the conversation, I mean, for
took a
my
turn.
personally for my
With
benefit,
just a towel
and then he should have
around his
thrown
waist.
like thrown his cloak
Yeah,
on in the
oh,
middle of the conversation, and Perrin could have been like, "Oh shit,
Yeah.
yeah, okay." So, just a thought for next season: if they have to do something like that, try for the person to be nude instead of more clothes. Try less clothes.
I think we're going to be seeing a lot of Dane Bornhold next season in season 3, episode 1, the scouring of Two Rivers. But I don't think he's going to be. I don't think he's going to be particularly sexy.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Well,
what gives you the idea that he would go to Two Rivers. Two Rivers.
Did he mention it again
Rivers.
at all?
The thing about him like immediately identifying that Perrin is from the Two Rivers, it's so weird to me.
Everybody does
Because
that
the-
though.
No, but Elaine
well,
can know.
Tom
and, like, that
Tom
should
does
be
it,
it.
right? Tom does it.
Well,
Elaine
I
Tom
guess
does it.
it's just like
Dane
But not
does it.
Dane. Like, why would Dane know that?
They live in a secluded town that barely gets
right.
any visitors. That don't
That's
even
what
know
I'm
they're
saying.
part of the kingdom. And all these people are like, oh, that's Two Rivers work. Oh, you must be from Two Rivers. It's like, what's going on here?
Well, I think, right, like, so this is something that's interesting because this is something that's in the books as well, where like the people of Two Rivers are very secluded. They're very to themselves, but they have a really robust trade. Like,
Well,
not,
they have
like,
like
not
two
so,
things, right? Wool and tobacco. That's the two
right.
main things.
And
that
like,
they
it's not so much like
export.
where the five main characters are. It's like other parts of the Two Rivers that are closer to the outside borders or where that trade happens.
Taryn
But like,
Ferry.
like people know the goods that they produce, whether it be the tobacco.
Yeah, that's
the,
true. I
or
guess
the
they
wool.
produce like
right,
rings too, I guess.
right. So like, I think that's the like people know what Two Rivers fabric is like because we buy that stuff because it's really warm, and I can spot that you wear it. And like Tom's like, even though they don't, they all have the same general accent, but they don't have a very distinct accent. That
No.
like, Tom's like, you sound like I can hear it in your voice. I'm like,
Like Matt and Rand
And you-
had two totally different accents in the first season. Not even close to the same accent.
well, I mean,
They all have different accents. They all
Yeah.
have totally different.
Yeah.
It's just, well, whatever.
yeah. I agree. I'm saying that kind of like everyone seems to be able to easily identify them, even though they have no concept of anything about like there's a queen, whatever. Like, you know,
Right.
there's no good explanation for it, but yeah, I don't know. You can tell that Two Rivers wool.
Yeah, and we get the interaction right when Perrin sees Valda, right? So Valda's there in the town. Yay. Perrin's like, oh yeah, let me get into, let me get that room. Let me get in the inn so I don't run into Valda. Valda has a conversation with Dane, and it's clear that the two of them don't like each other. Which I don't know. Does that make Dane more likable? Because
Dane's
he doesn't
awesome.
get along
Yeah,
with Valda.
he's great until he tries to fight them.
He's not
And even at that point, he's not terrible.
He's not bad. Dane is not bad the entire season in my mind.
You're right.
He's
You're
in
It's true.
He's a white
opposition.
glove. Yeah, but-
Yeah. He's even nicer than his dad, who's the nicest
Yes.
white cloak you've met.
Yes.
We only met like 3 white cloaks, so
There's a lot of guys in the background.
yeah, none of them say anything.
At least the white cloaks, like the white cloaks solve your Aes Sedai problem. There's a bunch of them around that don't say anything or do anything.
So Perrin frees Avienda, of course. Even though he's
I'm sorry, we're really glossing over Valda's entire upper body being in like a brace because 6 months ago he got stabbed once.
I'm not sure anymore now.
we asked right, didn't Ayula tell us? Well, she
Yeah,
seemed,
but I don't think she
seemed
really
not to
knew.
know.
She seemed
but she was
iffy.
like,
She was like, "What answer do these people want to hear from me?" I think like he does say like the last guy who tried to do that almost got his arm ripped off. So I
Yes.
kind of feel like that's what it is. But in my heart, I want to believe that it was also from
Yes, I want to see him in season 3 with 2 slings.
They
Just
show
an
that exact shot in the last time on Wheel of Time of her stabbing him.
That's right.
So that's
Yes.
why
Yeah.
I was like,
No.
okay, so they were making you remember that he got stabbed in the shoulder.
I want
same
him
side.
I want him to continue getting relatively minor injuries in every appearance, and then the next time we see him, he is like to the point where, like in the final season, he's in a fantasy mech suit of braces and casts and padding, and then he gets killed by an Aes Sedai with no hands.
I will have to say
Yeah.
this, right? There's been
Ooh, nice, Brendan.
there's
Like
been over 6 months that have passed from when he got stabbed.
Yes.
Now, if he is still in a sling this long afterwards, he's probably never going to be out of that sling.
That's-
Maybe not.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But
well,
if this,
especially
or-
not now that a wolf like gored him.
Or he's never gonna. Or he's
That was
never
the other
gonna be
arm,
out of. Or he's never gonna be out of that sling because he is a completely soft little bitch.
he is a little
and-
bitch. We'll find out if he's. I'm not going to say it.
Don't say it.
I'm not going to say it. Let's move on. So Perrin frees Avienda because he doesn't like. I believe he says people shouldn't be in cages or something to that effect.
Yes.
When she asked
Yep.
him, which was a great answer, I think. Brendan, did you make the connection? I don't remember if we talked about this last time. I know I say that a lot. Between the way Avienda was dressed and the way somebody was dressed in season 1. Did we ever talk about that?
She was dressed. I mean, she's an Aiel. She was dressed like the dead guy in the cage and like Rand's mom.
Yeah. Okay. I don't remember if we talked about that. Like that, it was clear that they're the same culture of people.
I mean, I think they pretty clearly refer to her as an Aiel, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, Avienda is, but I don't know. Do they ever talk about the?
Yes, they very. I think
to the 7 saying
I think
that's
in the cold
Aiel, that she's an Aiel.
I think in the cold open they refer to her as an Aiel as they're being killed by her.
Okay.
I don't think anybody says
No, I don't think
anything.
there's any dialogue in that.
Okay.
Unless
Nobody
Tam
says
says something when you see like his.
I think
No,
that's what it is.
does.
It's like Tam says something.
I think the soldiers said something before they get killed.
I don't think
I may be
so.
wrong about
I don't
that.
think
I don't think they.
Does
I
the
don't think
first
anybody
soldier?
speaks.
Does the first soldier say something?
I
don't
thought he
think
did,
so.
but
I don't
maybe I'm
think
wrong.
they say Aiel though. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think there's any mention that woman is an Aiel. That's why I was asking you, Brendan. Sorry.
Maybe Tam, like when they have the flashback of Tam,
Yeah.
like
that's the only
in
thing.
his fever dream, saying it,
Oh, when they show you.
Yeah.
like what Rand heard at the beginning, like that you find out
Yeah, I
episodes
don't
later.
remember, but
that he knows the whole time.
yeah.
Sorry.
Poor kid.
We never find out or even know, right? This is all up to, I guess, our speculation is if like Dane set Perrin up or what, because he just comes with like
No.
6 guys.
No,
They're
No,
just out there.
no.
With 6
Very
guys,
loud,
they're all
opening the gate.
in formation.
Yes. She says they're going to hear you if you open it. When he goes
And
to
then-
open Uno's, and then he opens hers, and it's extremely loud, and they're all out there like patrolling, so they probably just
Okay.
group up.
I don't know that. I don't think Dane set him up, but I also don't. I also don't think Dane is stupid, and probably realized that even though he told him not to do it, he was probably going to do it anyway. So maybe they put like extra guards in the area or something. I don't think it was a setup, but
right. And I don't think those extra guards are for Perrin. Like
No.
he knows how much it took to get her captured. You know.
Yes. He gives
Yeah.
them instruction, attack all at once.
Yes,
command. Still didn't work out for him.
Well, they didn't really
So
do
the
that.
best-
They didn't like swarm her.
Now you
Did they?
needed like a
Dane specifically does not attack all at once. He tells them to attack at once, and he stays in the back watching for
He's
a
the
little
final boss.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what a good
bit. I'm not sure.
good officer does. He's like, you're
He's the
going to do
boss.
this, and I'm going to stay here with this awesome axe.
Yeah. This is a great scene, though. Another great fight scene that we get to see. We get the little joke of Perrin's trying to like put Avienda behind him to protect her, and she just laughs at him basically. And she kicks everybody in the ass, about to kill Dane, but Perrin stops her. They
There's a lot of professional wrestling maneuvers.
Yes, lots of professional. I hope that's how all the IEL fight.
Yes.
Just see some 619s in next season.
They got pro wrestlers to choreograph the fight. But Perrin, so Perrin spares Dane or tells Avienda to spare Dane. I'm guessing he just doesn't want any more blood on his head. I don't know. Didn't he just kill a couple of White Cloaks right there? I feel like he smashed some of them with something.
I don't think
It was
he
hard to
killed
tell if
anybody.
anybody died in that scene.
Definitely a couple of limbs snapped, but
Yeah, I don't think they weren't trying to murder anybody, and I think like Perrin specifically is like this person has only like he hasn't done anything to warrant death.
And not putting a woman in a cage.
No, but he seems to not want that to happen. It just feels like he can't undo it. He didn't put her in the cage. He just didn't let her out. And he said, like, he's the one who showed you kindness. He gave you water, right?
Yeah, that's true. There's we see like that. That's why Valda comes over, right?
yeah, he gives him the water back.
Yeah. He knows it was Dane that gave him the water.
How does he get that back from her?
Maybe she
throw
threw
it
it
at
on
him
the
or
floor
something,
when she was done with it.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe he took a long spear poked it in
A
there
long
to grab
stick.
it.
Yeah.
I have no idea. So Perrin spares Dane so we can get this this finale. Otherwise, we don't have that basically. We get a little conversation afterwards with Perrin and Avienda. Avienda says that she's from the Threefold Land, explains why they call it the Threefold Land. I think the last part of the Threefold is to pay for their sin or whatever. And Perrin asks what the sin is, and she's like, I don't know. Nobody knows. It happened so long ago.
I'm sure it was bad though.
Yeah,
This place sucks.
Very, very bad. You'll see the waste. Perrin won't see the waste, but we'll see the waste next season.
Who knows?
We
Perrin
assume.
may say Perrin can see it too. Who knows? It's not like the show hasn't changed things up before. So
Yeah. She's looking for the car and their chief of chiefs. She talks about some sort of weird toe thing that she has, and they say, "Let's go to Valm."
You make it sound like she's got she's got athlete's foot.
Yeah, she got a hammer toe.
just a little cramp kicking the shit out of all those White Cloaks.
Yeah.
Yes. She broke a nail. And they decide to go to Valm. Because why not? Because she owes Perrin her water. She has tow towards Perrin, so she says, I'm going to go with you. And we'll hang out for a while. And we'll see what happens next episode.
So just on that, because I don't know if I don't recall if we talked about this the first time. Like, this is a lot of like, hey, here's a new world building element. And this episode obviously does a lot of that. But like, how did all of this land with you, Brenda? Did you feel like you got it? Because I think in the past you've said like sometimes the show gives you stuff and you feel like they're giving it to you in a ham-fisted way, or you don't necessarily like the way that they do all of the rule making for the show, the world building for the show. So how did you feel about like, let me tell you about the Aiel?
I think at this point the concept of the Aiel is sufficiently well established, to the point where I was kind of surprised that Joe even asked me about it a few minutes back.
Yeah.
I think it's sufficiently well established that if we had never seen or heard of the Aiel before, then yeah, this would have been a big old info dump. But as it is, it was just, I was like, oh, she's an Aiel. And now she's going to explain to Perrin, who's a big dummy from the sticks, what the whole deal with the Aiel is. And that's fine.
Okay, cool.
It would have been funny
Plus,
if she said...
Sexy ninja.
Yeah.
Sexy ninja.
Yeah.
Makes everything go down a little smoother.
It would have been funny if she said, oh, you're from the Two Rivers. Anyhow, shall we go over to the White Tower? Talk a little bit about some of the exciting things that are going on there. With Varen showing up. Varen returns to the White Tower. We see more Aes Sedai in the White Tower.
Yeah. See, this make you feel better.
We see a whole new batch of color-coded extras.
Yeah, two more. They're not extras. They have a lot of dialogue.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah. Varen's looking
it's a little person.
Varen's looking for Nynaeve and Egwene. I don't know. Do we know why, how she even knows about them? And please don't say because Nynaeve's the
no, from Moraine.
From Moraine.
Moraine told her about them.
Moraine does tell her
I'm
about
sure
them.
she spoke about it.
Yeah.
She was hiding out in her house for like 6 months.
Yeah,
I'm sure
I
it
guess
came
she
up
did tell
that
her
the
about that.
most powerful channeler in 1,000 years.
I'm surprised we didn't
the
get a
tower.
scene of Moraine telling her to go check on them for her when she goes. Because I imagine
I think
that's
she's
what
just
happened.
using it as an excuse when she gets there,
Yeah.
why she came back, or
No, but
Yeah.
it
And
wouldn't
it's
surprise
also-
me if
it's
Moraine
implicated-
told her that
Sorry.
though. Said, hey, go check on them when you go.
Right. It's also clearly indicated that Varen still has connections in the tower because Moraine didn't tell her this whole time that she's not allowed to go back, but Varen knew
yes.
that anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, she's got her ears to the ground.
She goes and visits Sheriam. We get this kind of
She gets Shiriam.
Go ahead.
Sorry. She gets Shiriam out of the way by indirectly threatening her with late fees, which is hilarious.
yeah.
She doesn't
I
threaten her.
almost-
She just asks her,
she implies, hey, where's this book that I obviously know you have? Let's go get it. So you get out of the room. It's I don't remember if I appreciated it this much when we first watched it, but I almost feel like introducing a cadre, a group of wizard detective librarians was like throwing a bone to me specifically. Like, look, we know you think the Shanshan are dumb, but here's the brown Aja. You're gonna love them.
You're gonna love this.
Yeah.
I like how Shiriam's making the novice dust the switches that she uses to beat the novices with.
Yeah.
Like it's like that's
have
like
to be
some
clean.
deep fucked up shit that you would do to
That's
somebody.
very weird.
Yeah. I didn't notice it the first time.
This is the Michael Jackson's dad level stuff.
Yes. Yes.
Pick it.
Here, clean. I'm going to beat you with these. Now clean them.
There's also a point we skipped over it, but I wanted to mention it, where she runs into Leandrin, who's like just getting back from, and Leandrin like makes an excuse for where she supposedly was.
Oh, that's the next
And
scene.
she
That's later.
Oh, is that next? I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. That's
All
later.
right.
But we could talk
Well,
about it now
okay.
if you want. I figured you want to stay with the detectives because this is your favorite stuff.
No, fine. Let's do it in order. Then I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
so
got the
let's
timing
talk
mixed up.
about this whole thing, right? So Varen goes, I know we talked about it a lot last time. She asks Shiriam about where Nynaeve and Egwene are, and you know, she looks at her books and says, "Oh, it was Gawain's name day, right? Or the prince or
The
Elena
first prince
brothers, birthday, so they went to go to Camelin for a party." And then, like you said, Brendan, she threatens her with late fees to get her out of the room. And then Yasuka comes in and goes straight for the book, which is weird because, like, how would she know to go for the book? The Shiriam's, like, I guess, sign-in book, or whatever it is. I don't even know what book that is, but it's weird that she knew directly to go for that book. Unless she was listening at the door, I guess.
Yeah, I assumed she was just listening to
Yeah.
the conversation.
Also, Shiriam left a secret ledger open on her desk, and Yasuka's snooping around. So
Yeah.
that's where she's gonna go.
I thought she went straight to it, but yeah, I mean, she could have been listening at the door.
It's weird that they leave and then she comes in the same door. Like she's hiding in the
Did
hallway.
she come in the same door?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
a
They didn't
weird.
go through
They
another
walk
door?
out and then
Yeah.
she comes in
Oh, okay.
the same door.
Like
Yeah,
She
when
was
I first
hiding
saw-
behind like a tapestry, so you don't.
Like
or
a-
They
on
didn't
the
see her.
corner, or
Right.
And then
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like a weird thing.
So Yasuka, reads the book. Then we get Brendan. We get this scene that you like, where Yasuka shares what information is on the.
Where Yasuka talks about how this is where her eidetic memory comes in handy, and then describes everything she saw on the page, and then just goes to the table and takes out the page because she stole it.
Here's the question. Now I want to know. Yeah. So this is the question. Did she steal it? Did she just
She
rip
had
the
to
page
have.
out?
Or she stole it. Yeah.
and I
Or
don't
she
know how
made,
she
like,
thinks
a
she's gonna get
copy of
away
it.
with rip. She can't make a copy of it because then the tremors won't be there.
yeah, did she have an eidetic memory and also the ability to duplicate that, like perfect, like hand
Maybe
coordination
she
Like-
could do like
and how could she-
to the tremor?
How could she think she could rip that page out and then not get caught?
And why would
Yeah,
she?
unless she did
why
that,
would
unless she rubbed it.
and it makes Brendan's point even more bizarre because if she did have, why we even making her have eidetic memory if she was just going to rip the page out anyway? Like, why write that into the fucking show?
I don't know.
Thank you for teeing me up there, Joe, because I more or less like this show, but there are occasionally scenes where it seems like I don't know if the writers get head injured as much as the characters do, or if like
No.
There's too many people
Or if, like,
writing and they forget.
they
to delete
literally take turns writing lines and don't show the other writer what the previous lines were.
Yeah.
I'm going to write this character in the scene. You're going to write
Yeah,
that
right.
character. We'll find out what happens in the
Or
scene.
like literally like I'm going to write Yasuka's dialogue on page 50. You're going to write it on page 51.
Don't turn
and
the page.
you don't get to see page 50.
It's kind of like when I
Like
write.
there's so,
Go ahead.
We all know what the scene's supposed to be about, right? Okay. So you do
Right.
the first half. I'm going to do the second half. All right. We got it.
It's like when I write an email at work and then I edit the email, but I forget to remove things that don't make sense when I edit the email. So then it's like the original email and the new email together, and it's just like stops in the middle of sentences and starts new ones. That's what it's like. Because if she just ripped the page out, there was no point in having that conversation. She could have just said, what was there? Here, look. Here, this is what was there. Right. Not, let me tell you about my eidetic memory.
She's like, let me tell you about my eidetic memory. Let me see it. Oh, okay. It's right here.
Okay.
I don't understand. People in the chat are saying she copied it, but she copied it, then the whole doesn't make any sense.
Right. It doesn't make any sense. The question would have been like, did you put those tremors there?
Like they're literally looking at Shiriam's actual exact handwriting that she physically wrote.
But it's weird.
So she could have copied it by like a rubbing, like you said.
But they show you the paper, right? They show you the paper, and there's only 2 things written on it, isn't there? Like, don't they show us the page?
Well, I got real annoyed about this last time, but like what they show you the page, and the page is gobbledygook. Like it's not a language. It's not a real language that anyone watching the show could possibly. I shouldn't say that. I'm sure there's somebody out there who can read it, but like most people watching the show couldn't possibly read because it's just squares and lines and dots and shit. Right. Like, so they show it to you. It's like, oh, these two are different. Oh, okay. If you say so, Joe.
Yeah.
Writer of page 52, whatever you say.
No, it's like a little bit squiggly.
You see a little tremor. You do see
it's a little bit more squiggly than the part above is a little like more neat than the one on the bottom.
It looks like that's not the page from her book because there's only 2 things on there. It's like 2 sentences on the page at all.
Maybe her eidetic memory allowed her to copy exactly the handwriting. Is that what it's supposed to be?
Maybe she channeled and
because she sees it in her brain and then she can write it exactly the same way.
Yeah, maybe she
on a separate piece of paper.
Maybe she can use the one power to make some sort of magical copy.
Then why does she need the memory? I don't know. I think maybe that's what they're trying to say.
Or maybe she went right to the book and took the piece of paper out.
But Shiriam's going to come back and see that it's gone.
Yeah.
And like that's not our problem. Yeah. That's a problem for the writer of page 67.
Too risky. I don't know.
So we get this wonderful conclusion that because there's some shaky handwriting that she must be Black Aja.
And see, okay. See, here's the thing. Like, I remember you had a problem with this the first time around, and you mentioned it in our chat earlier. And like, yeah, man, that's how detective stories work.
Yeah,
there's a slight tremor in the handwriting, and that breaks it wide open.
Yeah,
that's just how it goes. That's how Perot does it. That's how Holmes does it. That's how Barron does it. It's fine.
That's right.
I've come to accept this part. I still think it's ridiculous. This
is ridiculous.
But I don't think
Barron's
that breaks it open. I think
for 300 years.
I don't know. I don't think
never had a tremor in her handwriting.
I don't think Veron is coming to a conclusion there. I feel like she's feeding it to Yasuka. The idea that she already had in her head.
So, okay, and then I'm going to.
She's not like, oh my god.
So okay, and with that, I'm going to go back to a question that we had earlier now because this comes up, right? So, Joe, you asked, why does she go right to the ledger? All of this is Veron setting up Yasuka to get to the conclusion that Veron already has.
Yes.
She can't tell Yasuka this because nobody wants to believe it.
I don't think this whole thing
the entire thing, she goes in there, her whole conversation with Shiriam is to get her to open the ledger up. So that Yasuka comes in, sees that, and gets the evidence that Veron already presupposes, right? Yeah. If Veron comes up and says, she was compulsed, there is Black Aja, people won't believe it because they don't want to. They need to figure it out for themselves. And I agree with Jen. This entire thing is Aes Sedai games, and she's leading Yasuka to the conclusion that she's already at.
Okay, that I will buy. I will buy that Veron's playing some high-level head game shit. And this isn't so Veron can find out what's going on. It's to lead the other two to this conclusion. Right. So
remember, and Veron knows what the stakes are in a level that most Aes Sedai do not. People don't know that the dragon has been reborn, that the last battle is coming up, and like she's got to get the troops like ready for this kind of stuff, right? She's got to get the detectives ready to detect.
Yeah, and then they say let's go investigate who's not in the tower, right? Because the girls are missing, so maybe somebody took them out of the tower. And then we get a scene where Varen runs into Leandrin. This was the scene you were talking about, Brendan. And yes. Leandrin has covered every base and has got the perfect alibi. She's come up with
And Varen sees right through it.
Yes. She's got her white asparagus from a certain town, which only grows at a certain time of year. So it's like she had to have been there to get it. But yeah, Varen's just like, I don't believe you.
Leandrin's comment to Varen, though I know you love to eat, is the most evil thing she's done so far. That comment. She's like, though I know you love to eat. And Varen's like, oh, you fucking bitch.
Leandrin says that to Varen?
Yes! They're being so passive-aggressive with each other in this scene. And then Leandrin's like fake, like, oh my God, like, no, we have to. Like, it's so dramatic and over the top. And Varen's just like,
we must go to the keeper.
Yeah. Oh, right now. Like, oh my God.
And then she turns around.
I hope they're not hurt. Like, you're the worst actress on earth.
She takes a few
You're the best actress playing the worst actress.
Yeah. She takes
a few steps. You got to be a very good actor to be that bad an actor.
Yes, I agree.
She takes a few steps, sees that Varen's not following her, and turns around and is like, quick, come on. And then continues to go, and Varen just stands there and doesn't go. She's just standing there like, this girl's full of shit. I don't know how she knows she's full of shit, but she seems to clearly think she's full of shit.
It's probably the black cloak that she's wearing.
Yeah, it must be the black
that nobody ever comments on. Yeah.
But she bought the white asparagus, which is only available at certain times a year in a certain place.
Wow. Okay.
She had to
have gotten that.
She had to have been.
She had that rumor, like, okay, what am I going to say if somebody asked me? Oh, I'm going to say I heard a rumor that they were attacked.
Yes.
Like, yeah. She's got everything like right there. Like, oh, the white asparagus. Like, everything is like too accessible.
Yeah, she's right on top of this. You want to jump over? Let's close this out with some Rand, Moraine, and some Lanfear.
Sure. Lord Barthanes.
And Barthanes.
I forgot how wide ranging this part of the episode was.
Yeah. This is really like the biggest scope episode.
It's a lot.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff in this episode. A lot of things going on here. Right. So where we left Lanfear, she was apparently dead, but no, she somehow is healed. Whether she used her power or not, we don't know.
Well, the Venom symbiote came and got her back on her feet.
Yeah.
Just these like lines of black goop going into her, and
her eyes. Black spotty effect in them.
I want to go back to what we were talking about last week about Moraine running up the hill and whether she had dropped a horse off at the stable.
We were wrong.
No, we weren't wrong. She did not drop a horse off at that stable. When she walks into it, it's the first. We were wrong about the horse. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's the first time she's ever gone into that stable. She's counting horses.
Yeah.
The woman doesn't know who she is. On her feet the entire way up the mountain.
Yes.
Okay.
My theory was a good one, but it was debunked in this because the stable lady had no idea who she was. And like you said, she's looking at the horses like she had no idea what those horses were.
Okay.
So we tried to help you out, show, but you shot yourself in the foot.
And absolutely, I forgot about this. Absolutely cold-blooded, like too many horses.
Yep, gotta take care of this.
One's gotta go.
Cutting horses, killing horses left and right, Moraine. They leave. Lanfear, they leave. Lanfear comes. Poor guy shows up, gets his head exploded, and
poor guy shows up and sets up or helps at least deliver one of the shows, at least the only one that I've noticed, the show's only self-referential joke so far. When Lanfear asks where the road leads.
Oh, yeah.
Why to Tar-Valon? Of course it does.
Because all roads lead to Tar-Valon.
That's great.
That's how roads work. Yeah.
And then she blows us out.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Awesome.
Maureen outwits Lanfear, right?
No. I hate it.
You're not just Maureen outwits Lanfear next overing this.
He's not even gone from view when they step out.
It is a straight up Looney Tunes gag. It is like it is what Bugs and Daffy would do to hide from Elmer Fudd.
They just took the line on the road.
She rides past on a horse, and the camera stays on a rock. And Moraine and Rand peek out like that. It's so
see her too down the road, but she's not even at a site yet.
It's so gloriously stupid. I loved it. It was amazing.
Oh my god!
It doesn't last for long though. I mean, we'll get to that, but
no,
we
lasts as long as it has to.
So we do. Well, I should say, Moraine shares with Rand because we all know who Ishamael is. That he's the leader of the Forsaken. But Rand now she shares that information with Rand. No, you didn't kill the Dark One. This is Ishamael. You released him.
Sorry, I made you do that.
Yeah. Never say.
Why the fuck did you make me go there then?
I released it.
I shot the clerk.
I released the Ishamael.
I seem to recall you telling me exactly what to do. I did that.
There's a line here that rings so well now that the season's over, where she says basically like, if he releases the other Forsaken, there's no hope of winning the last battle.
Yes. Oh well, show over, I guess.
Oh well, I guess they're all screwed.
Yeah.
Because it's exactly how it ends at the end of the season.
It's good. They're setting up the stakes. They're
That's an unreliable narrator, Joe. Okay, he obviously doesn't know anything.
That's her opinion, man.
Well, I mean, I was gonna say that's sort of where like the whole Aes Sedai can't lie thing falls apart. It's like no, they can't lie, but they can be fucking wrong all the time about everything.
Right.
I feel like overly dramatic.
Yeah, I guess it depends. I guess it depends on the person saying it, because I would think she couldn't say that because that's not a factual statement.
No, it's what you believe to be true.
Yeah.
As long as you think it's
if you believe it.
Well,
it's not a lie.
It's not a lie if you believe it.
Yeah. Well, she said, I have no hope of ever winning the last battle. Then I can say
I think
yes,
she said we have no hope.
No, she said there's no hope, I think.
There's no hope.
Yeah, there is hope.
She's
wrong. Well, she's but you could say wrong things if you think they're true.
Yes,
right.
Plenty of people do that every day. Just,
Yeah.
But
she makes.
I think.
Go ahead.
I was going to say. I think. I was watching as well as the episode, the little like behind the scenes after thing where they talk about like just Moraine, even in the depths of her despair, has been basically unrattleable. And like she's just in a low grade level panic, like the entire first part of the set. Like, and that shows you. That's supposed to just show you how unbelievably scary these things, these Forsaken are to her, right? Like it's just, like there's no, like they're on a different level, right? Like they're demons, basically, whatever. Like, and we're people, even people with magic. We're just people. So, yeah. So I don't think it's a lie for her. I think she believes that. Like, there's just no chance. There's not enough juice.
Yeah, like
the good guy's side to fight a bunch of those.
Just with Lanfear, we'll never be able to sleep again. So right off the bat, like what? Right. I mean, that's just one.
Yeah. Oh, you thought she was bad? She's also Freddy Krueger. Okay?
I don't have the luxury of sleep ever again. Oh, cool. All right, good. Yeah, that'll work out well for you.
Mention of Teleran Riyadh. They get back to Kyrian and they talk about this. That she can get to them in their dreams.
We actually get. I'm sorry. We actually get a mention of Teleran Riyadh.
Riyadh. That's right. Yeah, I know. Do we have to change our podcast name?
So
no, we don't.
I don't think so because they do call her Moiraine, which we know is not correct. So
there you go.
I think that's how Rafe says it.
It is how Rafe says it. Yes. Moiraine. Like it's Des Moines, Iowa.
Like it should be like Moiraine.
It is.
It should be. It is Moiraine.
Quickly, I feel like people say Moiraine and don't like hit the Moiraine very hard.
Like envers, we would say Moiraine.
Yeah, they're French. They're supposed to sound French and Frenchy.
Yeah.
Frenchish.
Oh, we meet Barthanes. He seemed like such a good guy, but no, he's a bad dude. We know that now.
He's fine.
He's fine.
He has his reasons. Okay.
He's no Dana.
Yeah, his reasons are, I want more power.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not I want to be a even more powerful lord than I am.
Well, do you think him marrying the queen is because he's a dark friend? Like that's like if he wasn't a dark friend, that wouldn't be happening. Like they pulled strings, or so to speak, I guess, to get him.
Yeah, I think they're like he indicates their entire change of fortune over the last few years has 100% due to his dark friendism.
So Unfair did nothing, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
she
thinks she probably thinks she did some stuff.
Right.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, we are getting ahead of ourselves. Do you think that Anver purposely engaged Rand at the party because she knew that Moiraine was interested in him? Because, you know, we find out that she basically has the same spies that Moiraine thought were hers.
Yes.
Yes.
So she basically set that up and had that conversation with Rand at the party, trying, I guess, maybe find out some more information, maybe try to find out why Moiraine was interested in him.
Yeah, I think she's like, what's this guy doing here? I know where he lives. How did he even get in here?
Yeah.
Let's talk to him.
Wait, my sister's looking for this guy, or has people keeping an eye on him.
Yeah, as soon as Moiraine, she's like, I know. The whole episode, Moraine's running around like crazy, and then at the end, she's just like, I know where he is. Like, all you have to do is ask me. Or maybe I'll tell you, or whatever she says.
Then we get the conversation between Moiraine and Anvir, where Moraine's like, I think I might have accidentally brought some trouble to Kyrian and my family and got you all caught in the crossfire, which we know is coming. Trouble's a brewing for sure.
Capital T.
Then we get the scene where I don't know if I want to go back to, you know what? Let's cut back over to Lanfear because I'm going to try to mesh these together. So right, with Lanfear catches on to their scheme, where she meets up with the stable woman and sews her mouth shut. And doesn't she ask about Rand? Like, how did he seem? She asks after Rand, and the woman's like, oh, he seemed like out of it or whatever.
Well, she says, whose idea was this?
Oh, that's right.
And she said, oh, it was the Aes Sedai's. The kid was like a little dazed or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, he's so young. I have to remember that.
Yeah. She's thinking like, oh, I think he still might like me.
He's not doing this. It's her.
But I'll get them when they
It's all then her.
Right? She says they have to sleep sometimes. It's almost funny because you think when she says it, you think that means like, oh, when they sleep, I can sneak up and catch up to them. But that's not what she means.
Yeah.
She means when they sleep, I'll be there waiting for them in their dreams.
X.
She has that meeting, that interaction with Shamael after this, which is one of the best scenes, I think, in the season, maybe. Definitely great.
Earlier, Tom was talking about how the Shalenshin are bad people who believe they're good, and I said it set up something I wanted to address later about how Shamael and Lanfear, oh my God, they love being villains so much.
Yeah,
they love it. They're so pleased with themselves and how evil they are. It's entertaining as hell to watch. Like Lanfear's like a Batman 66 villain in some of these. He's like, she's hissing, she's blowing people's heads apart with a flourish. It's it's a joy to watch. She's costume changes. It's amazing.
It's 100%. 100%. It is like I'm not. It's like they had a background in drag, and they're like, and now we're like, and it's just gonna be glam, and let's do it. The outfits are great.
Yeah, I mean they're both just wearing white pajamas, right? Yeah. There's right.
Pajamas.
Doesn't Shamael say something about like you're gonna betray me, or are you gonna betray me? And she's just like, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that response.
Am I kidding?
Am I joking? No, I'm not joking.
Yeah.
You know I'm not joking. Shamael mentioned, I didn't catch this last time or any of the other times I watched this, that Shamael says he's the one who's speaking to the Dark One.
Yeah.
We didn't
He's
get
the only one to speak to.
the only one. We didn't get any scenes. I'm wondering if we're going to get a scene of him talking to the Dark One. I didn't catch this.
I don't think so.
Not.
Shamael
Yeah, deleted
looks to be
scenes,
looks to be Sir
that's
right.
not
I think we
appearing
have
in this series anymore.
We're about
That's right.
we're 3 weeks away from a series wrap on the Shamael.
I forgot about
At
that.
least apparently.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll
Early.
get a scene of somebody speaking to the Dark One. Maybe
Yeah,
Lance.
well, yeah. If he's not around, maybe somebody else gets that opportunity now,
Yeah.
or one of the other people. Creepy bangs.
And Lanfear mentions some of the other Forsakens. She goes, well, Gideon is insane, which we get to learn about at the end of the season. And Grendel and the boys couldn't, whatever. I forget what she says.
Grendel's I forget what she says about
She's
Grendel.
vain something. She
Yeah.
calls her vain. And we learn...
She says,
okay.
no, I don't know who the boys are, but she says something like to the effect that this isn't what she says, but it's like the boys couldn't plan their way out of a paper bag.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And we learn of Shamael's plans to use the Rand's other Two Rivers friends against him to try to break him. So I think this is the first time we actually get Shamael basically telling us his plan.
I hate how he's just like, Matt was born mine.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're told
Who?
that Shamael says that.
But
About Matt.
No,
That
I
Matt was
haven't.
born mine,
Who's
and
Matt?
Perrin was whatever. But it's like they say it and tell us that more than they actually show it.
Well, he does abandon all of his friends at their greatest hour of need in the
But
first season.
does he really?
Yes, he really does.
He
Yes,
really does.
he
He
really
doesn't
does.
Also-
abandon them. He just doesn't go through. He doesn't
left the
run.
show.
He just stands there.
Guys, he left
What
the
do you
show.
I don't
what do
know.
you-
I just
Wait,
What do you
From
think
a certain-
abandon means?
For a certain point of view,
They abandoned him.
They abandoned him.
he
really.
stayed still and they walked away. Like
That
he
is-
didn't walk
that
away.
is-
He just didn't
that
move
is some
forward.
That is some Obi-Wan level.
From a certain point of view.
That's some
Yes.
Aes Sedai.
Also, like,
Aes Sedai.
Telling the story.
There's nothing else. Okay, fine. He did that because
Okay,
he had
fine.
to-
There's that, and
but
there's
other
the whole,
than that, because it didn't really happen.
and the
other than
stealing,
that-
and the constant
Yeah.
thieving, and
He's a thief.
Poor, and he's trying to help his family.
Okay.
He stole the bracelet to get lanterns for his little sisters.
Yes.
And then he
Okay.
felt like shit when his friends gave him money for the land. Yes, stealing is wrong. Bad, wrong, shouldn't do it. But his life is so shitty, I don't think he's a bad person.
he not only. I mean, whatever. I agree with you. Obviously, I think fundamentally he's a good person. The show shows you that. Doesn't just tell you that at the end. But like, he doesn't just steal. He seduces somebody, sleeps with them, and then steals their.
That's his friend from the town. They probably had sex a million times before that.
Holy
It's not like he
shit.
just met her. She lives there.
Fornication is a
Wow.
sin, Jen.
He just happened to see the bracelet.
It is
that
so
night
odd. Like
and
what?
made a decision.
And like, what is like an unforgivable sin to you? Well, she broke up with him, and then he also broke up with her.
No,
How
let's
dare
not-
he?
let's not
No.
go there.
But
he
go
would
there.
never do something like that.
but
Let's not go there.
Rand's a piece of shit.
so
Matt's okay. You don't
Matt-
bounce on a girl after you have sex with her and say you're going to be her warder.
how
You
about if
can steal a bracelet to get something for your baby sisters whose mother is a drunk.
Okay. See. Here's the
Okay, like
here's the
that's-
thing.
And follow
Here's the
the
thing,
lecture.
Yes.
Here's the thing. You're kidding, but I actually don't think you're kidding.
I agree 100%.
I'm not kidding.
She's
And
not
part
kidding.
of that is because I love Matt. He's my favorite character.
Yeah.
But I honestly feel like they say it, but they're not.
Everybody shits
I
on
don't
Matt in any way they can in
I'm
this
not
show.
kidding.
so.
Like I'm laughing,
Yeah.
but I'm really.
But
I'm
Matt's
really
a
I don't mean the
dirtbag.
I don't mean
Why
the
do you think
characters.
that he's a dirtbag?
I don't
He's
mean
a-
the
What the
characters.
fuck?
Because he watches the show. It
was
was mad as right. So he's in the first season. He's a thief and a liar. That's all established.
How is he a liar?
Brendan, he's not a dirtbag. He's food insecure and house insecure. I don't know,
Both
money
things
insecure,
can be
whatever they
true.
call it
Wait,
nowadays.
why is he a dirtbag?
He's got a house. It's hovelish, but there's a house. There's a door.
I don't
He
think
wears
he's
that
a
same
dirtbag.
dirty. He wears that same dirty robe, and he's got
He's
dirt all over his
poor.
face
Yes.
all the
First
time.
of all, he's literally unclean. He wears the same outfit for like 6 months.
Right. I mean, they all do, but
No,
It's like Pigpen from Peanuts.
some of them got the
Okay, so what's wrong
outfits.
with Big Ben?
right.
He's
Like
a nice
when they-
boy, okay?
Yes, but
No, I'm serious. I don't think.
are we talking
think,
about? Wait, are we talking about Pigpen
no,
now?
I'm talking
I'm
about
sorry.
that. I
Okay.
think like he is shown to be a good friend at the beginning to his
Yeah.
friends,
yeah,
and then he gets like manipulated by a magical demon dagger. Like that's not his fault. Anything after that should be wiped. That's
But
not
I don't
even
think
his
they
fault.
made that very clear, Jen, that the dagger. Well, because he only had the dagger for a short period of time, so we really didn't.
Yeah,
get
for
to
like
see
6
Matt.
months.
No, I mean viewing time. Like that was literally like 2
Episode
episodes.
3, he gets the dagger.
Yeah, three to
And
6.
6 or
No,
5.
6 is when he
6.
gets
But he's
healed.
not
It's the
in-
dagger in 2.
Yeah, 2 to
it
6.
is
Oh,
in 2.
2.
Yeah, it is 2 to 6.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
not in a couple of those episodes. I feel right. Is he?
No, he's
Yes, he is.
in, he's in
Episode
every.
five.
Sometimes very briefly, but
Yeah,
Maybe in
Oh
episode 5.
wait.
Yeah, he's in it. That's when they get to Tarvalon.
that's when they get to Tarvalon. He sees.
Oh, yeah,
that's
yeah.
right,
Logain.
right.
He sees Logain
Um,
Yeah.
and imagines
so-
Logain laughing.
But
Obviously,
I guess
that,
we're
that-
led to believe that once he's healed, he's fine.
Well, no, I think, like, first of all, like, Moraine thinks that, like, the dagger's power in part is, like, activating and working because of the darkness within Matt's own soul, right?
Yeah.
But
Like, there's a resonance between them, right? And that, like, again, like, you don't have to like it, but the show clearly says, like, Matt's like, I don't want to go on this quest to save the world. I'd rather get that dagger back. That's more important to me.
Can we?
That's what happens in the show, right?
I would like to. I'm sorry. I just want to interject here. I would like to remind everybody listening at home. Matt does not appear in the episode we are talking about.
That's true.
He's not in
I
this episode.
actually, on that.
Well, I wanted
when
to
we
take
were-
it back. I wanted to ask this.
All right.
What's with those
Hi.
oval-shaped playing cards that Rand and Barthanas are using? Did you notice that those cards? That
Were
they're
they
playing?
oval-shaped?
Let's get back to the important stuff that people want to hear
they're
about.
oval-shaped
The oval-shaped playing.
Playing cards. I
Okay.
noticed it this time. I don't know. I never noticed it before, but I'm like, what is he holding? And then it's like, oh, it's like a playing card, but they're oval-shaped. It was just.
I didn't notice that. It's weird. I didn't notice that they were oval shaped. I
Yeah.
did notice that the backs were like black and gold. That's what I noticed about them. I didn't notice the shape.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's weird.
Oval-shaped. Yeah, they are weird.
Okay.
Weird oval-shaped cards.
I mean, that's just one of those like, oh, this is fantasy world. Here,
Yeah,
the cards
I mean,
are oval shaped
You
here.
don't know what rectangles
Why are they rectangular here? Like, there's no reason for it. It's
Well,
just
it's
the
much
shape that
easier
they're
to
in.
make rectangle cards than it is other. And then, like when you're dealing them, it's
Is
got
it
to be
much
difficult
easier?
with the. Yeah,
Is it
because you
much
don't.
easier?
You just chop 4 chops, and you got yourself a rectangle. The circle.
You just gotta
have to go
press.
like-
Chop one
Yeah, you
chop.
get one press, you're fine.
Jump it.
That's not how they
Press
worked
them.
it though.
Chop.
Back in the day, they didn't have a press like that. So
They probably have a rectangular press now, if we're being honest. Anyway,
Yeah, this
So
is
they're
like
talking about
this is like pre-industrial. Except like this is not like
hey, the
medieval.
cars are in the show, Jen.
I'm still
Matt's
up here.
not
I
in the
could
show.
I could have went another 20 minutes. I'm right here.
We know.
You need to bring me back down with the oval cards.
yeah, oval cards. We do learn also that Lanfear was apparently lovers with Luz Theron, who was the original
Shock.
dragon. Bran seems to think that what they had together was some of it was real, which I think Moraine was still was kind of hinting at, like, no, she loves you, dude. She's obsessed with you. So you're right about
Why are you
that.
so obsessed with me?
Yeah. And basically she implies, like, you know, maybe if you pretend to like her, she can help us with the Shamael. Rand's reluctant, but he does it. And he goes to bed with his shoes on. And
Blinks twice.
yeah,
Falls asleep.
falls asleep.
Well,
And
he's been up and running around for a long time. He's
Nope.
beat.
Yeah. He's very beat. He didn't take his shoes off. And then we get Bondage Lanfear. Episode over, right?
With-
That's the end of the episode.
With Rand strapped to the Amazon executive mandated wheel.
I want a goddamn wheel.
Not a doubt in my mind. It was like, we spent how much money on this Wheel of Time show and there's no fucking wheel? I want a wheel
Somebody
I know
needs
they-
a wheel.
on
I
the
know
Brooklyn
they-
Bridge.
Would do this.
It's a metaphor.
It's a joke for 2 people in the whole world.
I know they wouldn't do this, but I was thinking that if this was really happening, that he would not have been wearing pants. Like, why did she have him take his shirt off, but not the whole outfit? Like, if you really want to degrade him and like,
I mean,
I don't know that she. Well,
it's TV 14.
Maybe,
that's why.
I know.
Maybe it's like, maybe like he's clearly more focused on ab day than he is on his legs. Maybe he's like a Giancarlo Stanton type, where it's just a lot more upper body strength.
Maybe she's not a leg.
Yeah, maybe
lady.
she's like like an arm girl.
She's an arm and
legs. That's what I'm talking about. Revealing the legs, Joe. That's what she wants to see.
You said pants.
Yeah. Pants.
You're not saying underpants.
She's already seen his schlong.
I know, so that's why I showed it to the I know. That's why I just whatever. I just feel like if he was really doing this, he would have been nude on the wheel.
I don't think
she wants to degrade him, though. I feel like that's more degrading. She loves him. She just wants.
Yeah, but like it's like.
I don't know. Maybe if he fell asleep without his shirt on, you would say then that's just how he.
Right.
Was visualizing.
She created the way he is.
I think this is the first time I actually participated in one of my favorite recurring Talk Around Riyadh bits, which is Jen being very delicate about something, and then either Joe or Tom just making it crude and graphic.
Sorry,
like what? I'm happy. I'm happy about it.
Well, I will say this: I actually did not get what she was saying. I thought that she's like he should be in his underpants.
That's what I thought too. That's why I said like the legs.
Yeah. I think yes, it's an M, but I think it is also supposed to be sexy for him and not like totally like I'm in control of you. Like it's so I think it's I think it's fine.
If you want to take your pants off, you can later after we've talked. It's up to you. I'll get you started.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put you up.
Just let you know we can get you comfortable. Get you comfortable in here.
It's hot out here, so I don't want you to sweat too much through your shirt. So take the shirt off, and then we'll just see what happens from here.
We'll find out in the next episode of the Wheel of Time. Any other points that anyone wanted to discuss on this one?
There's one quick thing. One quick thing. Last time when we talked, we said like, oh, there were these small scenes. They should have just put them into the next episode. And watching this episode, I'm like, oh, I see why they had to just throw that stuff in last episode. Yeah. Because there's no room in this episode for anything else.
It's the Perrin, right? Perrin and Matt, right?
Yeah.
And Matt's not in this episode, so that's
not in this episode at all.
Yeah. So So then I guess it doesn't feel as much as like a hey, I'm Matt, remember me. Then. Well, actually, it has to be because otherwise he wouldn't have been in 2 episodes in a row, which would have been crazy. Which, proves our point that Matt just got shit this season to do.
Well, I think it was like, I think they didn't have they knew where they needed to get him. They're not going to just have like here's an episode where they're walking.
They could have just he could have just been in Faldara. They could have just. He got picked up by the. They didn't have to say the Red Sisters got him. They could have just anyone could have got him and brought him to Faldara.
But no one went to Faldara.
That's where they were, though. That's where they.
Oh, so you're saying he just should have been with Perrin?
Yeah. They should have ran into him. They could have just said, "Oh, we ran into him when we were leaving Faldara. He was headed this way. He regretted his decision. He immediately regretted his decision. Whatever. We don't.
Over. It's over.
It's over. It's done. It's done with. It's over. Do we want to pull out our special Talk Around Riyadh rating star system?
Sure.
Our special 20-point rating system.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does anyone want to go first? No.
I'll go first. Yeah, fine. Whatever. I'll go first. 4.5. This is this episode introduces probably my least favorite part of the show so far, the Shanshan. But everything else is great. For a variety of reasons, like all the other storylines that don't involve the Shanshan, and I include the completely ridiculous staging of Leandrin dropping the girls off as part of the Shanshan storyline. But everything else is terrific. The wizard detective librarians, Perrin meeting Avienda, Moraine and Rand on a madcap cartoonish escape from just a ridiculous over the top villain. It's all great. I loved it. Possibly maybe my second favorite episode of the whole show.
After the first, is the first episode your favorite so far?
No, the third episode I think is my favorite.
Okay. I'm gonna give it
the show overall, not the season.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna give it a 4. It had some things that obviously really that I thought were ridiculous. Just maybe those two things with the the Shanshin and the girls, and the whole Brown Aja, the eidetic memory thing. That didn't make any sense to me. But I thought it was a lot of fun. It was very entertaining. It kept it had nice pacing. It kept things moving, and I thought it was good and entertaining episode so far.
I'm gonna say 4 too. I think I want to rank it next time after I watch it, not after we've talked about it, because after we talk about it, I always feel like I want it to be lower than when I originally watched it, because we're literally picking every single thing apart, just for fun, because we love it. But yeah, I think I'll give it a 4. It was a good episode.
I will go high. I'm gonna go 4.75.
Whoa.
This episode introduces Dane Bornhold, and he's the best.
Oh.
And no, seriously, well, obviously he is the best, but seriously, I think that this episode is well written in a way that even other generally well written episodes of this show aren't. And I know we were nitpicking the writing about the scene with Yasuka and whatever, but the show now is starting to coalesce, and I think there's a very strong thematic element to this thing, and there's momentum happening here. You can feel it's moving towards it's moving towards something. And I watching this episode again, not to get spoiled, but it gave me the same feeling in a way that when I read Knife of Dreams, where I was like, okay, now I feel like the movement is happening, right? So I really, really enjoyed watching it. And it's got a bunch of great set pieces. The only reason I noticed the thing about the girls getting dropped down is because we talked about it so much the last time. It doesn't really bother me, but it is I will say this, that's the only negative, I think, of the whole show, is just you should never notice blocking on television.
Yeah.
You should just never notice it. And you do, because it's weird. So that's it.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Brendan.
Well, that'll do it for me. Thanks for having me, guys.
Weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Enjoy the Great Beyond.
Yeah.
Let us know how it is.
And we're back with our spoiler-filled portion of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna talk some. I really don't have that much spoiler stuff. The one thing I had, it's not even really spoilery, but they used it a few times in this episode. They talked about the dark instead of the shadow. Did y'all notice that? It was 2 or 3 different times. I think the Shanshin mentioned it, and I think, it was mentioned both times. Actually, I think it was the Shamael who said it. He said why, when he was talking to Soroth, yeah, she swore to the dark. And then Shanshin used it again earlier. I don't know if that's just a Shanshin thing, but I thought that was interesting there. It doesn't seem like they're going... Oh, Nynaeve says it too, I think.
Yeah. Dark friends, the dark one, it's the dark.
Yeah, it's not the shadow.
Right.
Shadow friends.
Shadow pals.
Right. And I think, they've done that a few times. One of the things, in the book, Fades have 18 different names. Every place you go, they call them something different. They're just Fades here.
Yeah, they're not Murdral on the show, right? At all. I think they're just Fades.
Does someone mention... I feel like somebody mentions Murdral.
Maybe. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe it was us. I'm not sure if they actually ever say it. Yeah,
I think that they don't need to have it's just branding, Yeah. I don't think, and I think there's no we can't call it the taint, guys. Thing about corruption, but
the taint is so much better.
It is, but yeah, I think that's it.
Reasons.
The other thing I had was just about the to elaborate a little bit on the Varen, Varen thing, where this is all her, like trying to put this out into the universe, like she understands that compulsion's being used in the tower on the regular. And again, like this is her trying to, in case something happens to her, other people have to start getting on the train that there are dark friends in the tower, and this needs to be discovered. So I think that's part of what she's doing here.
Yeah, she knows
that makes more sense to me that that's the case.
Right.
So,
and
giving some points back to that.
And I would say this too, in regards to the other scene, like she understands that you can lie when you undo the oaths, which is why her bullshit meter is like turned on to every Aes Sedai she talks to. Like normally, if Liandrin said she went someplace and got these things, that must have happened.
Yeah.
Right? And like, there's no reason, like she could be a bad liar because Aes Sedai can't lie. So if she says it, it has to be true. And like, she shouldn't expect that people don't doubt her. And so right, you know what I mean? So those are just things that give the audience, like it's setting the audience up for that reveal, like that Varen, why Varen is so astute about these possible things.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know what they're doing with Shiriam. I don't know if they're making Shiriam a dark friend, but I feel like she would have looked more worried. I know she's trying to like save face in front of Varen, but like I feel like if you literally didn't remember writing something that important in your book, like you might have looked like a little more worried about it. Like, I don't know. That's why I'm still like, is it compulsion or is it like,
or is she lying? Yeah.
She's lying.
I have no idea.
Like somebody else, I don't know. Somebody made her write it and she was like nervous writing it. But yeah, I don't know. Like maybe
it's compulsion or maybe it's Maybelline. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But maybe I feel like it's such an awkward, like, oh, yeah, I guess, yeah, it must have been me. I mean, I wrote it. It must have slipped my mind. Like, what?
Yeah.
It's just weird.
She remembered writing it, though, because that's what Varen says.
Well, she lied. She could be like, yeah, sure, I wrote it.
No, but what I'm saying, though, she says it, though. I'm not saying it's true, but I'm saying she definitely says she remembers writing it because Varen tells Yasika, because Yasika's like, maybe someone forged it. And Varen's like, no, she remembered writing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I was thinking the same thing, Jen. I don't know if it really is compulsion or if she is making me think that it's really compulsion. But the show obviously is trying to trick us. So.
Yeah.
I think like that's another reason why I think like it doesn't really even matter. It's not even important necessarily. It's more important that like this is an unthinkable thing to most Aes Sedai. It cannot be that Black Aja exists. They won't allow it into their brains because it kind of destroys the whole edifice of what the White Tower is. And like whether she's lying or she's not, it doesn't matter. She's gotten Yasika to like believe that the Black Aja may exist now. And that's the important thing. That's all she cares about is like getting that ball rolling. So, I
think I think it's a good time to wrap up. We've been talking for a long time, damn it. I want to remind everyone to follow us on social media. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Join us over in Discord to continue the conversation there. Be sure to go to our YouTube page and like and subscribe there. Rate and review us wherever you listen to podcasts, and check out our merchandise and Patreon pages to support us that way. Final thoughts, Jen and Tom, before we close it out?
It have already happened by the time this episode drops. We're going to have our 5th anniversary special live this weekend. So if you didn't watch it live, go over to our YouTube page and check it out.
And if you're listening to this 5 years from now or 2 years from now, we did it 5 years ago or 2 years ago.
If you're listening to this 5 years from now, then you can watch all of our other anniversary specials as well.
Yeah. Let us know
how they were. All amazing.
I'm sure they were.
The 6th one was bananas.
Thanks everyone for listening, and you'll hear us next time.